Hello, I'm M. Hood, and this is Alex Amin.
How you doing?
We're in Norco, Louisiana today. We're going to the spillway to do an awesome mixed species session. I hope it is. And we're also reviewing my new ice chest back there. It's a Maluna. It's awesome. We'll talk more about that later. But first, we got to go look at the river and look at the spillway. Let's go do that. First, let's wait for this damn train.
Well, take your time, why don't you?
Well, we should get a snowball. Alright, this is the spillway structure, the flood structure. Here's the river. As you can see, it is up a bit. This isn't that interesting to us. It's not up high enough for us to take an interest in fishing it right now. So we are going to go off into here and see what we can do. We're going to use mixed methods for mixed species today. Alright, Alex and I have chosen one of the larger ponds between the structure and the first trestle. And we're just kind of going to walk around it with our lighter gear. As you see, there's a lot of gear in this Subaru, stuff for catfish and drum. But we also know that there are yellow bass and white bass in here. There are largemouth bass, but our conditions are this as follows. For the last 3 days, it's been cold. The front had came through. There was some rain in the beginning of that, and now is the first day of like kind of warming. It's not super warm. What is it, Alex? About mid 60s right now. The wind is east southeast. Not too bad, but not too low either. It's about 5 to 10 today, right? Feels a little more than that to me. So I am going through these poles. I just want one. Can you guess which one I want? I want this one here. If I can get it. Here we go. So we do have things like cast nets with us, but first thing I'm doing is going to throw a night crawler on a stinger rig. Now, some of you may know what a stinger rig is, some of you might not. A stinger rig you can use for live bait or night crawlers. Sorry, I didn't mean to put your eye out. It's a floating jig head with a hook here and then a hook in the back. Now, if this was live bait, you'd put this through the mouth and this through the tail. But I'm going to put a worm on here, and you know it's going to have 2 hooks, and then it's on a Carolina rig with a 1/8 ounce weight. A little over a foot of a leader line. So I'm just going to get it on this hook like that. And then I'm going to put this in the back here and have a little bit trailing off. My friend Wisconsin Tom gave me this floating jig head. My first little fish of the day. We drove to the other side of here. It's a little channel cat, a little tiny thing. Got caught on the back end of here, back on the stinger rig. Go home. This is the pond that we were fishing. The overflow canal is over there where that culvert is, and it flows into a little pond and this little pond, and then it flows through this culvert into the big pond. Oh, you got yourself a bluegill.
Hell yeah.
Got him out of that pipe?
Yeah, I'm just
free lining, huh?
free line. I'm letting it drift in there.
Yeah, you're right. Well, that's huge, Alex.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
It's a green sunfish?
Yep. That's small. We could use that as a live bait. It's so small. You could let it go. Alright, now it's just a little bit after 5:30, and we're going to just stay here for a little bit. I've got 2 lines out for drum and catfish on Nightcrawler. He just cast that out. There's a worm on the bottom. I'm going to run over. Never mind. I'm going to stay right here. Did it have a good fight?
Yeah. Man, keep that another.
Oh! I got him. This is 20-pound test. Ooh, he just came up. You see that? Oh yeah.
There you go.
That's a keeper. That's a.
Hell yeah.
They got to be 12 inches. All right, it's a blue cat. It's just a little over 12 inches. Now you could keep it. 12 inches is the minimum, but he's too skinny for me, so I'm gonna let him go. Pretty, huh? All right. There we go. There's another one. He feels smaller than the last one. This wind is getting nippy. There you go, Alex. There's a channel cat. First one was a blue. Second one is a channel cat. I'm not even going to show that off with the other camera. Wow, we got a pretty sheen on him.
Oh yeah.
Just little cats today. Real quick, I wanted to talk about the rig before we lose the light. Now, I'm using a 3-way swivel, as you can see, and I've got the weight, which is a 3-ounce lead weight, on about 3 to 4 inches of a lead line, and then I have almost 2 feet of a hook length. And there's my worms. I'm kind of just mounting them up on the hook. Now, that is a size 4 Kale. Some people down here call them French circle hooks. It's not a big one because there are Gaspergou here, freshwater drum, and there's channel cat and blue cat as well. So we're keeping our hooks small. Before we get too late into the afternoon, I want to talk about Maluna. Look at this. These are the fasteners for the lid. They're made out of nice thick rubber. Those will last a while. Look at those. Metal here. The hinges are the same sort of rubber. Let me show you how thick this lid is. And it's a heavy lid. See that? And then the walls are thick too. It's built really well. Nice and cold in there. This rack, pretty handy. It's like awesome for the bait. Keep the bait up away from the drinks, and if we get some fish, we might put them in here. Everything's nice and cold. Did you hear that? That's a heavy lid, and that's a heavy ice chest. It's pretty hardcore, pretty indestructible. It's 35 pounds. These are awesome. Hard for me to do when I'm holding the camera. There we go. They fasten down nice and tight. And then if you want, if you ever have problems with people stealing from you when you're fishing, you can lock this up. So here is, here's the digital thermometer. Let's see what it reads out at. "53 degrees. Sit on that ice chest, Alex. Anything happen?
Nope.
Did your butt sink into it? That's what I'm talking about. That thing's solid, isn't it?
Oh yeah. It's not
Alex,
wet, it's not wet on the outside, none of that.
Alex is bigger than me. He's not fatter than me. He's just taller. He's got a little more weight on him than me. And if his butt don't sink into it, you know mine doesn't.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of ice chests, when you sit on them, you sink right into them, and this thing is just built solid, so I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, if you want to check them out, there's links to their website and their Kickstarter page down here in the description. You ready to get back to fishing?
I sure am.
Yeah, you're right.
Get on it.
Your beer's cold, isn't it?
Oh, sure is.
Huh. I didn't even know I had a fish on. Look at that. Another skinny blue cat. He sounds squeaky. He didn't even he just was hanging out with that in his mouth. He wasn't even pulling or anything. Okay, I'm gonna unhook him and I'm gonna let him go. Oh, well, it's just a bit after 9 o'clock now. I tell you, wasn't much of a day, but it was nice to get out and fish with my friend here. We hadn't fished in a while.
I ain't kidding.
Whoop. Right. I want to thank the folks from Maluna for sending this badass ice chest to me. I'm looking forward to using it on my Grand Isle road trips out there fishing Elmer's Isle and piers at Grand Isle. Bring my fillets back home in that and they'll be good to go. So I am just about good to go. Therefore, I'm going to say see you next time. See you next time.